Thank you, guys. Good evening to everyone. I must say it was a very interesting game. I would love to go and watch this match again. I think both teams played very well, but our boys were a notch above. I think first half we could have easily scored 4 goals if we took our chances. Dumela had a very big chance, Castron had 2 big chances, and all of them were emanating from our high press because we knew they would be building from the back. We had to try and barrage them, like they said, because we knew if we give them a lot of time on the ball, we were playing against a very dangerous team. The well team is the driver of that orchestra with Toronto and them, so we knew if we don't give them as much time on the ball, they might resort into long balls, which is what we saw later on in the game. Very unhappy that the game had to go to extra time, to be honest, because I think we had done enough to win it during normal time. But I think there was an offside there that was not seen by the officials. But nonetheless, we appreciate the fact that boys had a very long season. It was hard work throughout. At the end, I think it paid off. And I want to thank my fellow coaches, my analysts, my conditioning department, my medical department, my support staff, kit department, the people who make sure that our fields are always in a proper shape, the groundsmen, Leonard and his team, the securities at the gate and the kitchen staff that make sure that we are always okay. And last but not least, the president and the chairman of the club, together with our 12th player, which is the Yellow Nation, our supporters that are always there to make sure that we give a good performance, and their drumbeat always means a lot to us. I think this is just a moment of gratitude for all the hard work that everybody put to make sure that the team is where it is, because it would not be where it is because of Manqoba only, or because of Rodani only, or Coach Steve, or Coach Wende, Coach David, or Coach Marcus. Everybody else that plays his role in the team does exceptional job, and we're really thankful to them.
Thank you, Coach. Let's take questions from the floor. I was looking for new hands. Previous one, okay. I'll start with Teko once more.
Thank you. Congratulations, Coach. What does this mean for the team to win a treble in a season where Sundowns were incomplete, probably total dominance in the domestic campaign? I'm sure it's excitement from you guys looking at how this season went. So what does this treble mean for the team?
To be honest, I think it's something that I once said a long time ago, that I believe Sundowns has got the capacity to win all the trophies on offer. And when that happens, one should give credit to the team, because they give their utmost best to play. Training is not very easy. We are playing a very high octane game. We are demanding a lot as coaches. Our analysts demand a lot from the team, so everybody knows how important it is to give his best to Sundowns. And the most important thing for this season in particular, when we tried to have a squad that was complete in our standards, that could play almost every player within the group without fear. And when those players that have all participated in all these competitions get to lift all these competitions, we really appreciate it, and we are thankful to all of them, because honestly speaking, in Sundowns, if you look at the number of matches we've played, you will realize that now maybe we're in match number 47, and that is not easy for our team, with a lot of traveling in between. And one always forgets to also thank our families, the families of the players. Those young families, honestly, are always tested to the limits if you were to consider that our boys are always away from home. Maybe in a week they are away from home 4 days, and we always have something to say and point fingers when their relationships and their families are not doing well. But the truth of the matter, you have to endure to be a spouse or a partner of a Sundowns player. and honestly, that's why I want to thank all our families, our wives, partners, their girlfriends and all that. It's very important that we do thank all of them, because they would not function the way they are if it was not for the fact that they have people that are supporting them from behind. Really, I want to extend that word of gratitude to all these families and ask them to understand that in next season again we are going for the same campaign of the championship, of the Champions League, which was our dent for the season, which I believe the team had really given their best shot to.
Okay, 30 last questions, quick ones. Let's start with Temba.
Coach, it must be pleasing to get a goal from the bench out of a match that was quite tricky with the way that Gallants was giving you a hard time. I mean, especially with Mngqithi, as you put him as an orchestra. But the goal, the one that won it for you, it should be pleasing that it came from the bench, from the thinking cap that you used, and it eventually came to.
Yeah, no, man, we spoke with these players because we knew this game is not going to be an easy game. It's not going to be a walk in the park. We knew we had to dig a little bit deeper, and we spoke to the players. They understood that for a high-octane game, you cannot sustain the same intensity for the entire match, which is why we had some influential players on the bench that we knew if the game starts to take a dip, we'll be able to lift it up with those players. And no wonder our opponents were cramping all over, because we knew it will take something from them to sustain those levels of intensity. But we nearly tossed it, because with the chances that we got first half and we did not take, this game could have gone either way. But fortunately, our bench was always too strong. Temba did very well. Tapelo did very well. Pavol also came and added an impact in the team. We were also forced to bring Musabe, whom I believe also had a very good game today. So honestly speaking, everybody else that got a chance to come in and add value. Pizzo was also exceptional in the group, and we really feel our substitute did not let us down, and they are the ones who made us to win the match.
There's a question on the side.
Coach
Just speak up a bit.
you shared a very intimate moment with some of the fans there afterwards. Why did you decide to do that? It's not something that usually the coaches would do, especially when there's pitch invasions and things like that.
No, man, I felt it's necessary for me as a leader of the technical department. When the situation was bad like that on the pitch, we would end up just leaving them without even saying thank you. And to be honest, they've really enjoyed a very hard season where they could not even come to the stadium. And at times when they had to come to the stadium and just be outside and hit that drum and sing outside the stadium to try and support us. And when we win the treble, just to walk away without even saying thank you, for me that would not have been fair. And that's why I took a moment to say, let me just show that in as much as it would have been very dangerous for everyone else to do it, because when there were a lot of people outside, anything could have happened. But I just felt it's important that at least one of us shows that he appreciates them and he knows the value that they add in this wonderful club.
All right, last question. Let's get a quick one.
Yes, Coach, sorry, I don't know if this was asked because I was a bit late, but I mean, winning 3 trophies in a season, what does it say about the gap? Do you feel there's a learning gap between yourselves as Sundowns and the rest of the team? You know, because to us it looks like total dominance, but to yourself on the other side, how does it look?
I would not agree, because when you look at the stats, because in this game, in this day and age, you have to be very objective, and for you to be objective, you must use a lot of data to justify that. Is it a real dominance, or maybe it's those margins here and there where we've got some marginal gains as a result of either the technical team that we have, because we must also be honest, it's very difficult for any other team to compete with so many capable coaches, sharing their opinions within the group to make sure that this thing is better. And having those critical debates that are very difficult in other environments. These debates are not between coaches. These debates are between the coach and the boss. But at Sundowns, the president and the chairman give us the authority to make these decisions as coaches, as analysts, together, and we sit in this panel of more than 20 people, and we discuss the finer details of each and every game. And those marginal gains at some point do make us to look better than others, because we dig a little bit deeper. When I say sometimes we spend more than an hour just to make the lineup, because we don't want to leave any stone unturned. We want to try the best we can to be fair to the boys and to be objective as well, because sometimes emotionally you would want one player to play at the expense of the other. But when you've got a group of people that will substantiate with data and everything to say this is how it should take a different direction, and you all agree at the end, maybe that's where the success is, not necessarily because these other teams are not at our level. But if you look at the matches that we played, this game could have gone either way today. The game against Chiefs could have gone either way. The game against Stellenbosch was a total dominance on our side, but we lost the match. So there are many games like those that you would say today we were very dominant to the rest of the other teams. But if you look, I always say in South Africa, the biggest challenge, which is also affecting us when we go to Africa. In South Africa, they miss a lot. We miss a lot of chances. Pirates would have won the Confederations Cup if it was not just because they missed chances. We could have continued in the Champions League if it was not for missed chances. In the PSL, you survive even when you miss. We missed 4 clear chances first half today, but we still won the match. In other matches, when you miss those chances, the opposition gets through, they finish the game off. And that is what happens in the Champions League. So I would not say we are head and shoulders above the rest, but it's just marginal gains here and there.
Coach, thank you very much.